We can stay on this merry-go-round of annual budget crises, which is what Illinois is on. This is the same, right? This is Pat Quinn, right? Pass a tax increase, otherwise I got to open the jailhouse door and let 1,000 convicted felons out. Pass a tax increase, or I got to feed seniors dog food. Pass a tax increase, or the developmentally disabled aren't going to get service, and it's going to be on your head. It's shameful. Actually, it's shameless, but it's both. And we had the same thing in 2004. We had the same thing in 2007. I wish all those Chicago Democrats, since they run the show in the state, could get their acts together, come together, and figure out how to balance the budget. The problem is they can't, because they will spend not just everything that they can take from us, but they take out credit cards leveraged on Illinois taxpayers, and then they max out those credit cards. And that's what's happening. So how you deal with this issue? First of all, tax increase or the end of Western civilization, that's not an honest debate. Secondly, there are things you can do short term to fix this, depending on whose numbers you believe, $7 to $9 billion budget gap for fiscal year 2010. Things like moving all of our state's Medicaid patients into managed care regimes, so there's some cost containment on state Medicaid, which there is none now. Only 4% of Illinois Medicaid patients are in managed care regimes, the lowest in the nation. Managed care, like what people when they buy private health insurance, so there's at least some cost controls on it. Depending on whose numbers you believe, which studies you believe, that saves $2 to $4 billion over the next 5 years. The other thing I would say is the $8.8 billion in federal stimulus funds that we got from the stimulus package that was passed at the federal level. Illinois is a donor state, meaning we send more money to Washington than we get back in return. So that $8.8 billion, all that is our money. So I would say we get to use our money how we damn well decide to use our money. And it's not going to be tied to ridiculous boondoggles like high-speed rail to St. Louis and Toledo. Right? 400 million. I mean, this is what Pat Quinn did. Don't make me open the jailhouse door, but oh, by the way, my fiscal year 2010 budget has a 6.5% spending increase. Oh, by the way, we're going to spend $400 million on slightly higher speed rail to go from Chicago to St. Louis to get you there an hour faster. This is a priority given the kind of cosmic nature of this crisis. So that's what I talk about in our spending problem. Well, Obama and this administration are talking about $13 billion for a high-speed rail network. Finally, somebody has solved the problem. I can get to Toledo faster. Great. I mean, it's nonsense. It is absolute nonsense. It's on the spending side. So what you do to solve that budget in the short term are things like that. Repurposing our money for our immediate needs. But long term, the only way that you get Illinois on a path to growth and financial sustainability is to fundamentally overhaul comprehensive reform, comprehensive change, system change, those big ticket items. How we do K through 12, how we do Medicaid, how we invest in our infrastructure, and it shouldn't be on the backs of video gambling. And what we do about an $80 billion funded pension liability. And on the pension liability, let me give you an example of a whole system of reforms. Number one, no double dipping. You have 3,000 individuals in the state who collect more than one public pension. Meanwhile, everybody in the private sector has seen their 401ks cut in half or worse. They're still being taxed to pay for the multiple pensions that are politically connected. That's wrong. Number two, define benefit plan financially unsustainable. We need to move everybody to defined contribution plans. Number three, we've got 5 pension systems that are operate in silos. They need to compete with one another so that you get efficiencies. Number four, we need to change the retirement age. We need to change how long it takes to vest. Right now, it's only 8 years if you're a state employee. And we also need to look at increasing the contributions from pensioners to their guaranteed pension. Guaranteed pensions, something that does not exist in the private sector. It'd be nice if you pay a little bit more for that guaranteed pension. You want it? Fine. It's got to be financially sustainable. All of those substantial reforms to achieve system change on an $80 billion unfunded liability that's increasing, kind of every minute that we're sitting there. That's one big system that needs system change.